Okay, Salaki, I just want to finish off, the last of my video as I was, in doing in transit lesson, going into angels unawares. All right, and before my phone went dead, I was, speaking on how, men of the Lord, hey, we spiritual judges. All right, so when we see certain individuals and certain things, our first instinct, is to think about the spirit and line it up, with could this be an angel or not, or, is this a 2/3? Is this somebody who can be of the hopeful elect? And that's the mind frame you have to begin. You're supposed to judge everything. People who you're talking to, people at work, your mind frame should be in the spirit. You're supposed to be lining them up and judging, like, okay, they could be they could be of the hopeful number. All right, when you're talking to strangers, this could be an angel. All right, when you're seeing the characteristic of a nigga, oh, this probably a 2/3. Right? And this is, it's always, been like this from the beginning. Our forefathers were always approached by, angels. Moses was approached by an angel. Joshua was approached by an angel. All right. Tobit walked with the angel Gabriel. He didn't even know, Gabriel was an angel. All right. Until, towards, the end of, his running, until, he finished up what he needed to finish, in the spirit. All right, for his, but no, was it, Tobias and Tobit, actually. They were among angels. Lot was among angels, right? He showed courtesy to the angels, man. So we in the time, angels are going to start approaching more and more, and they're going to start making themselves known, man. All right, so that's just something I just want to put out, in the spirit. All right, we're in the latter time of Esau, Edom's kingdom is getting ready to be destroyed, man. The Lord is ending this place with signs and effects, man. All right, and those signs is going to come in the form of the angels too. Angels are going to play a big part. All right, every captivity that we were in, angels were there. All right, orchestrating the minds of men through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And that's what they're doing with the Lord's elect also, man. So, that about does it for this lesson. Lord willing, the elect was edified. Until next time, all praise and glory be due unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Recha HaKodash. Double honors is due to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. And I'm going to say Shalom.